I'm no elf, but I'm going to do a song that's indicative of this whole entire year. And it wasn't until almost the end of the year when I discovered this song. Never really thought much about Syd Barrett except various different stories that were told about his departure from Pink Floyd. And I didn't really research it, but as time went on, I realized that there were more than one viewpoints on what actually occurred for him to have left the band, and what everybody's part in it was. It was very interesting, but it never captured me as much as some of the other rock and roll stories and bands that I listened to growing up. But as I heard it, then I heard a cover of a band called Placebo, which someone I care about a lot introduced me to, and he just does a cover of his own vocal. Of course, he goes up half a step in his tuning because he sings quite high, but I thought, wow. And so I looked a little further into all the different stories, and Nick Mason's sort of making some noise about it right now, about elderly men fighting, and the ridiculousness of it, and how the world is missing out on such a beautiful combination of people, especially now that Syd's just died in the last few years. So I'm just thinking, wow, would it be nice for them to realize that their music is more important than they are? That performing again in that beautiful, no matter what it sounds like, it's just a beautiful thing to the world of, speaking of getting over differences and peace. Anyways, this was written by Syd Barrett, and a lot of people have different opinions on what it was about. It's called Dark Globe, and it's also called Wouldn't You Miss Me? And I just think it's just about the pussy willow, which represents a melancholy feeling in Britain. It's associated with sort of a feeling of sadness and melancholy. So that's how I feel it, and I don't think it needs to be personified exactly the way Syd Barrett did it. He wasn't in the best shape, apparently. I don't know, but if truth be told, he wasn't in the best shape from using drugs and just not taking care of himself, which is relatable. So this is about everybody's own individual sadness is what I think it's about. And in a way, I feel that sadness connected back to David Gilmour and Roger Waters not being able to, just a lot of bands have been able to overcome. Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. I mean, Dulce, Pete Townsend. There's been some serious differences, and I mean, they've been overcome. And so this makes me this song, I think, represents to me not only what's going on in my own personal life, but today it's about Nick Mason's observation that it's sad that two elderly men put their music they're more important than their music, than sharing it with these people that have provided them with the millions. And I know it's not a selfish thing. I'm not saying that they're selfish people, but it's too bad. All of us have arguments that we just don't get over. And maybe this is more about positive solutions and finding a way to make that peace happen instead of not, because that's what we're supposed to be as human beings. Are we not? What are we if we're not? We might as well just be like animals, killing each other. And whoever ends up the top of the pile. It's not about reaching down. Isn't it about reaching down and pulling someone out of that? Those are the most moments I've felt alive, is either doing that for someone else or when someone has thought, just without claim to, like First Nations, it's insulting to not accept a gift freely given out of love. Anyways, I'm going to butcher the fuck out of this song, but I love it. Once I've captured it a couple of times playing it, but never, but that shouldn't matter. This is called Dark Globe, or Wouldn't You Miss Me? originally written by Syd Barrett and Carrie, covered by various Soundgarden, REM, Placebo, like I mentioned, and lots of other people around the world that love Pink Floyd and would love to see Mr. Waters and Mr. Gilmore just make an example. Even if the music sounds horrible, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you and him, the big message there is that that's what matters. It's not all the money made from all the band, the Pink Floyd, but what matters is finding a way to make peace instead of choosing never to. And it's better to do that before it's too late, because in a lot of situations in life, we can't go back in time and change something that has happened. Anyways, enough of that. These are wise men. These are people I grew up following. Pink Floyd, Robert Plant. And when I hear Robert Plant speak his wisdom, it's great, because he's honest, and he'll find a way for peace, a peaceful sort of, he's just who he is. It's lovely. I just wish that there was more of that in the world.